Hey folks, this is Ashley Purdy from Black Veil Brides, and you're watching RAMzine.
How's it going there, guys? Hywel Davies here from RAMzine, and today, this afternoon, we are joined by Black Veil Brides only Ashley. Mate, how are you doing today, my son?
Brother, thanks for having me.
Mate, absolute pleasure.
Just waking up. We just flew here. We haven't been acclimated yet, so this is the start of the day.
No, so you've just landed.
Season for us, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's the start of the brand new thing as well, and you'll be doing the US tour at the end of this, I'm sure.
After here, we're finishing up Warped Tour, which is the very last one. So, like I said, it's festival season, and go out with a bang there, because that's the very last one ever. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. And Warped Tour's been very important for you guys as well. Like, you've been quite a staple of that festival for quite a few years now, haven't it?
Sure. I mean, it's a thing for teenagers for the most part. You know, like all of us in the group and the band, we've all grew up going to Warped Tours, you know, as kids. You know, we're like all skater kids and metalheads. Yeah. And it's kind of just a rite of the patch. It's kind of the thing that you do, you know, in the summertime, you know, when you're off school. Yeah.
Yeah. Sign the times that the festivals like that kind of depleting?
Yeah, I don't know why they are or not. I don't know. Attendance seems okay. Maybe it's just the cost of infrastructure for making it happen. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, we could be all day chatting about that, to be honest with you. But you know,
how are we like here, like 200,000 strong here? I don't know.
It's about 110, you know, something like that. So it's not like, considering that like Glastonbury's the next one big, it's for a rock and metal festival. That's absolutely insane.
Okay.
So I also wanted to talk to you about the Wake Up video, which is actually fucking awesome, mate. What was going through your minds when you were kind of like putting that video together?
Well, it's kind of speaks for the sign of the times, you know, with the political realm that's happening today and shit. And you can take a stance on either way on how that goes. I don't know, in the American system, what's going on right now, you know, right or left or where you stand or whatever. And then that's a video is kind of about that. It's most like think for yourself, you know what I mean? Sort of. There's no right or wrong, but just actually like think about the decisions that are made, you know, that you don't have any control over, that, you know, government is probably controlling. Just think, you know, wake up, so to speak, you know what I mean? Just think, yeah. It's just being conscious and being like of mind, you know, don't let things, you know, like the world happen for you, like do something about it as well, you know? So kind of be an activist, so to speak.
Yeah. Was it quite surreal to shoot, or was it like quite fun to kind of be like put into all those like jail cells and stuff like that?
Not really. I think what was fun about it, and this is kind of like an insider thing for our fans, is like the guy who shot it, Robbie Starbuck, he actually shot our very first music video that was never released in Black Veil Brides. We did like Perfect Weapon, which is the very first one that was released, but we actually did one before that that was never released, and he was the first director to ever actually film us, and he's the one who did the Wake Up video. Yeah. So that was kind of cool to going back, you know, kind of full circle to go with him.
Interesting. Mate, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
Yeah. No, it was good work.
And going back all the way back to the past, like, who were the first people who kind of like got you into music to doing what you were doing today?
Well, strangely enough, Michael Jackson.
So, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, this is again when you first get into pop or whatever. Yeah. But then after Michael Jackson, then I discovered Kiss, and then it was kind of like all over with, right? Yeah. So that was Kiss, and then went to like Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses. So
yeah, Bad or Thriller?
Thriller.
Yeah. Correct.
Even though he looked like Rad in Bad, and he should have stopped with his look and just stayed there. He looked Rad, but like Thriller was like when I was a kid, and it was just like, you know, the monster kind of stuff.
Quite recently as well in the UK, there's a Mental Health Awareness Week that we've just gone through as well, with Black Veil Brides is like very emotionally tied lyrics for that as well. Do you believe that lyrics can actually save lives?
Of course. I mean, because it's all interpretation as well. I mean, we come from a place of honesty the way we write too. You know, it's not all like just nonfiction or whatever the hell. You know, it's definitely fictional, where we've lived the experiences, the things that we write about. I mean, there's even more so on that stance what you're talking about as far as mental health or suicide or depression that we each individually in the band, you know, deal with as well on a personal level, that we don't really divulge that much, you know, but we do it through our writing. Yeah. So I meant, so it's something near and dear to our hearts that we actually like.
Yeah. Like, who are the artists that saved your lives?
When I was growing up as a kid, it was different. Like, I never really had the depression kind of stuff. It was like you had to be tough. Yeah. Where I'm from, there wasn't like woe is me, because if it was, then you got left behind. Like where I grew up, I don't know, in the Midwest in Missouri, like in the country of the U.S. is where I grew up. Yeah. You just had to be tough. You had to fight for yourself, and it's
probably working class area.
You know, exactly. So there was no like woe is me or feel sorry for yourself. Or there was no time to be like depressed or as a sad kid listening to music. I was a metalhead, and you just had to be fighting tough and be on the streets, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Do you think there's kind of like a backlash these days, though, that people are kind of like hiding behind that masculine facade, that you can't actually be like express like these emotions that people kind of like need to? Because I feel as though that depression, anxiety as well, don't get, especially for the male part of the population as well. It's like you have to hide behind the masculinity and stuff like that. Is that quite a dangerous philosophy now in 2018?
I don't know, the whole like hiding behind it or not. I don't know. It's just two different like generations, I feel, because like today I think it started when like not necessarily like the coddling of people like in sports, you know, when everyone's equal and everyone's giving a trophy kind of thing. It just used to not like be like that. You had to like still like fight for your place. And I feel like that today for like kids too, like if they're growing up in classes and schoolrooms where like they're taught like be kind and you know everyone's equal and everyone's got a fair share. Well, it's not like that in the real world. The real world's fucking tough.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And to get like the job at whatever, an office or whatever, you got to work, you got to educate yourself, you got to be strong. So I don't know, that has to do with the mental health problem too. It's like exercise, like a muscle, your mental as well, your brain. You have to exercise that as well and become intelligent and educated and get help. Meaning if you do suffer with anxiety or depression, seek out help, therapy, and so to speak. Like I've been through there. I've actually done that. I've done the whole thing. I've gone to therapy and done a lot of stuff for myself. Just awareness to be wise and intelligent about where you're going, because the world's tough. It's not easy. It's not, you know, we're not all equals and we're not all going to get the trophy, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And Vale as well, man. This is fucking big.
Yeah.
Do you have arenas in mind for this kind of album, this kind of sound?
Right. We've always been kind of growing there. I mean, from Wretched and Divine and then through the 5th record, it was always had the arena sound. So anyhow, from Wretched and Divine, it was always this conceptual thing that was more like on a Queen sense of stuff, you know, arena. And then when we went to do our 5th record with Bob Rock, who did like Motley Crue and Metallica Black and whatever, it was that some sonic sound that we wanted too, just to keep growing and evolving. So we weren't making the same record over and over, because a lot of bands do that. But
exactly.
I don't know.
I was working with Bob.
Very cool. He's a very authentic, I guess, like, you know, like old school kind of feel. He wanted us all sit in a room and like write together, you know, like jam. And we're like, we're not jam. We sit and like, we're like methodical. We want to write all this stuff out first and we'll program it and do shit now that we do. He didn't understand that concept. So we were kind of teaching him ways to write and reinvent stuff today, you know? So it was very cool. It was a learning process on both ends for us on that.
Absolutely. And concerning your future as well, with downloads slowly creeping up there, are you looking at that main stage, looking at that headline spot, it's that's going to be us one day, that's going to be us?
I think we've already proven that. Like we started here like middle of the day, main stage, worked our way almost to second stage headlining, and now we're working our way up through main stage. You know, I mean, you're not in bad company when it's like Ozzy, Manson, Shinedown, then us. I think we have something to prove. Because the other bands have been around for a long time, you know, and these are heritage bands, and so who's the next to take their place in line, you know? So we're just going to keep going and do what we do, man.
Absolutely. Mate, thank you so much. Ashley from Black Veil Brides, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Enjoy your downloads and good luck today, all right?